clap to sync.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's the sound of me smacking them cheeks.
Man, you know how many times some of my coworkers be bringing up the story about, oh, are the mics recording?
Nope.
I'm glad I caught that.
I am too, because I saw the thing. I was like, usually we can see the wave.
Because I'm like, I don't hear ourselves.
Definitely selected the Bert.
There we go. Alrighty. Did we want to do a sound check before we get too far? Make sure there's no static?
Just going to keep talking for a little bit.
Alright, cool.
Yeah. Remember last time everything seemed cool.
And then the Fire Nation attacked.
It's the Fire Nation.
It sounds so far away.
You sound so far away.
I'm hoping.
I still don't know where that's from.
It's just an anime you found.
I'm hoping, pass it.
How about no? That's my favorite one. Oh, man.
I'm hoping, pass it.
If only Showboat could hear what we're hearing right now. That sound alright in your end?
Yeah, but that's the one thing I have not figured out about this MacBook.
What?
Sometimes I'll be trying to get the volume thing to come back up.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't. Like, all I'm trying to do is turn the volume up. That's within the program, yeah. All of those keys are inside the program. I even went out of the program to see if that made a difference, and it did not. So let's try this. Maybe if I'm
Georgia.
here.
Press play.
Damn music video. That's my shit right there. You don't know about that shit, Trey. You wasn't outside, boy. He wasn't outside for that. Everyday People by Arrested Development. Trey don't know about that. He was in the house. Right.
Are we still recording on the camera? This is
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's still recording.
His parents had allowed him outside back then. He wasn't outside for Everyday People.
Mom, can I go play with my friends?
No.
Everyday people.
If you were too sick to go to school,
Oh my God.
you were too sick to go play with your friend.
Don't tell me about that shit. Yo, I legitimately, it's not letting me pull up the volume at all. Let's do it this way. I'm gonna do it the long way.
Boom, boom.
Hear better now?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, it was louder. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out what's this short in the headphones.
Alright, I need to move something real quick.
That was weird. What just happened?
I had to change the ports.
Do you still hear it in the mic? I mean, the headphone. Oh, there we go.
I didn't, yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't click record yet. Check, check, check. Check, check.
Yeah, that's much better.
So does Livingstone College follow us?
Say what?
I'm looking at. Did you follow Livingstone on Instagram? On the Instagram?
Not that I remember.
Do they follow us? That'd be crazy. Oh my God, Livingstone College follows us.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm kind of a big deal out there in those streets. So I wouldn't be shocked if they did. I wouldn't be shocked, just being honest. See, we really got to get those booms.
I just thought that Barack Obama followed us. I was about to be so excited.
No.
We really got to get those booms. I don't like having to lean down so far to record.
You want the toilet table?
What the fuck? What?
You want a toilet table?
That table it's like slimmer than this, so everything doesn't fit quite on there.
Longer.
We just need to get the booms. That's what we get. But this sounds good. The sound sounds good. We're not
Honestly,
peeking
all
in
we
the
need
spot.
are mic stands because these screw into.
I can get mic stands tomorrow. We have a million of
Yeah, I
those.
think I have some too. We just had to find and make sure it screws in. So just bring one with you.
Oh, the cap part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that. All right, I think we're ready.
Stop this and then start it over again.
All right, let me
Do it just clappy clappy.
All right. Wow, that didn't sound right.
Nah, I did not. Like, it's 3 grown-ass men in here. You talking about clappy clappy.
I'm gonna be real. Ever since you told that damn flip-flop story, a lot of people that I work with that listen to the pod, they just get like, man, I saw some flip-flops today. And it's not just niggas that been saying it to me either. Like, one of my ABC coworkers cackled when she heard that story. It
The
was
flip-flops I've heard, and I've had a couple people say something to me about that story my dad told from last week.
Oh man, like like so many people were like, "Is Jay okay? Is Jay alright?"
No, guys, I've
Let's get it
literally,
trending.
I have
Hashtag
literally,
give
guys,
Jay
been
a
in
hug.
here begging you guys for help, and you guys just keep laughing at me.
He was like, I literally put
Laugh at my
out,
pain, guys. It's
sitting
fine.
in the car, listening to Drake.
If my
crying
struggles,
house out.
if my depression gets you through the week, then I'm fine with that, okay? It's already a running joke on Twitter that I cry my eyes out and y'all just keep retweeting
Feels
everything,
vibe.
talking about the vibes. What the fuck?
And then everybody if I had to hear about my drunk story one more time, with me going through the tunnel, some people like, well, that happened. It was like, it wasn't my finest moment.
I really wanted to turn that heater on, but the sound is gonna like fuck up if we cut that heater on.
I finally have the headphones to where I can hear everything perfect. I'm
Me too.
afraid to move.
It's stupid clear right now.
Yeah, it's very clear.
No,
right
we're not touching that heater.
We're not touching.
Like I said, the
shit.
sound of it would fuck with
Nah.
the shit. Alright, was it some other stupid shit I was gonna say to you? I think it was.
I always get scared when you talk stupid shit.
Nah, it wasn't nothing like that.
I did not know that your MIDI pad had a joystick on it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Got the pitch blender. Beat pads.
Somebody
Beat
told
pads
me-
in front of you.
What was
What
that?
the fuck is happening?
It's a ghost.
Now's the perfect time to make a smoothie? What the fuck?
Probably the episode title's Tropical Smoothie.
Now's the perfect time to make a smoothie.
Session shakes.
I didn't label these like I usually do.
Oh no. Oh no, you didn't.
These drops are gonna be okay. I know that's Georgia. That's yeah. That's applause. That's pause. That's how about no. And that's passive. Okay, I got it.
You gotta write it down.
I got it.
Alright.
My pride won't allow me to write it down now. Yeah, it's just all kind of random fucking
It's gonna
sounds
be
happening
so
in here
funny.
now.
It's gonna be like,
Um,
and this is your boy Jay from the great state of How about no? I'm gonna be
Hey.
weak at that.
Hey, you live and you learn.
Let me not talk shit because I don't know the key bindings, and then you're gonna
That's
just
cool.
fuck me up.
Let's go. All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Session Podcast. I definitely thought you had the phone up there. That would have been a perfect little drop.
Oh,
The intro.
Oh my god.
It's all good. Our fans can listen to that again.
Yeah, they can. Oh, flip.
Now who they want?
Flip, flip, flip.
Game over. Damn, too bad his career was over right after that. He got ruined that shit. fucked with Flip though, man.
That beat was hard.
Yeah, Lil Flip was alright, man.
Oh, that would be a dope ass marching band
Lil
arrangement.
Flip was alright.
Alright, bring us in.
Are we recording?
Oh.
2 weeks in a row, mind you.
Yeah. Here we go.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Session Podcast. I am one half of your hosting squad, Jay, from the great state of GA. And there's no sound coming out of my...
I knew that was gonna happen. I called it.
We can't get the show started, guys. We can't get the show started.
How about now?
We legit can't get the show started.
Oh, there we go.
All right,
Let's
we
try
ready.
it again.
Here we go. Here we go. Take three. Keep all that. All right, here we go. Serious, man. Here we go. Whew.
All right.
I'm so immature. What's good, everybody, and welcome to the Session Podcast. I am one half of your hosting squad, Jay, from the great state of GA, and he is...
And you already know who it is. It's your boy Trey from the VA. And we bike at it again.
Let's do it.
Oh, man. How was your week?
Well, since we finally got through the intro,
Yeah.
my week was a blur. I can say it was a blur. It went by kind of quick. Other than going to work Monday, and I get done on Monday at like my last class ends at 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like sitting in a room from 11:30 to 3 o'clock, feeling like I'm being kidnapped. Anything that you could think to do, I had already done it. I cleaned up. I did extra inventory. I did homework. I started filing taxes. I started calling people that I know I should call more. Like, clean my car out.
And see, he did not receive a call that day.
Nah.
When your legs don't work like they... Wait, that don't fit.
Yo. You lucky I can't find it.
That would have worked.
Yeah, let's get the ball out of his hand.
We got put in editing how many pause counter for each episode. It'd be like...
Just pass it,
All
Trey.
right, here you go.
So, how was your week this week?
Ah, man, I quit in my head 3 different times at both jobs.
Yeah.
This week was rough, bro.
I get it.
But we made it through. It was just interesting going back into the building. Because, like, I haven't been back into high school all year. Like, I've been to the middle school a few times, but I haven't been back into high school. And the 2 things I kept hearing all day was, Trey, your hair keeps getting longer. I'm like, that's what hair does. And then the second one was, you gained some weight, Rawls. And I was like, fuck you. So I'm fat and hairy. That's what I heard.
Fat and hairy.
Hey.
That sounds like a... Never mind.
Nah, let's not. Let's not get...
Gonna get canceled. They're gonna cancel that.
Oh, man. But yeah, man, this week marked the beginning of a lot of spring sports a lot of sports that should have been played in the fall kicked off in the spring this year, and one of those being college football.
Yep.
And one thing that's very interesting, especially with your boy Deion Sanders, right?
Yep, prime time.
Yeah, he's over at
Jackson.
Yeah, now that he's over at Jackson, they're getting a lot more TV coverage, which gives a lot. ESPN is covering a lot of the HBCU bands, and not bands, but the bands are getting covered.
Bands getting coverage too. They're showing them
But
too.
they're showing
Football.
it's giving us a chance to actually like see these schools that you don't really get to see on TV as often. So that's really dope.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. As well, was it yesterday or the night before, I watched Southern and Alabama State play. And that was a hell of a game. That game went back and forth the entire time, and it came down to the wire, which kind of led to a conversation I had with a friend of mine who went to Jackson State, where I was like, at some point, as black colleges, we need to have a discussion. And I'm not saying from a standpoint of us trying to segregate ourselves, but just from a standpoint of what may be, one, fiscally better for us, and two, what may be better for us exposure-wise. Because with the Power 5 not playing right now, they're showing us a lot of black college football.
Yeah.
Two, it opens it up for more money for those black colleges through exposure. And three, think about how many guys are getting scouted that probably would not be getting scouted if Power 5 was playing football right now. Because if you don't think those scouts are tuned in watching them play football, you are very delusional. There are a lot of guys who were on the Buccaneers team that won the Super Bowl from HBCUs. Yeah, and
man, but the only thing about it is that it has its pros and its cons too, though. Because I remember growing up, I remember going to Hampton, and on Thursdays when they used to show the HBCU games, like at like 8 o'clock at night, so it kind of made me feel like it was a Negro Day. So like, although it is more exposure, it just kind of seems like it's separating it. And then also, I feel like we're gonna also run into that issue with like the better known teams. If they play in the fall and we continue playing in the spring, we don't get a chance to show that we can keep up with them as well. You know.
Yeah, but I think the only issue with that is we can't. We go to those games, they beat the shit out of us by like 70-something points. We get a little check and we fly our black ass back to our fucking shit. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it, because I believe it was FAMU, that big ass stadium that they got was because of them checks they were taking from like Florida State and Oklahoma and shit like that. Schools like Savannah State fund their entire athletics program off of taking L's to University of Florida and shit like that. So I'm most definitely not knocking that at all. But at the same time, that can be played as an exhibition game. It doesn't have to be technically that. But I just say it from the standpoint of we get buried by Power 5. It's so bad.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't get any televised games at all. And my question has just always been, what do we get out of the deal? We don't get to participate in none of those bowl games that make all that money. Like, think about how much focus is put on black colleges for the Rose Bowl parade, but you'll never see a black college participate in the Rose Bowl, even if they go undefeated, because the strength of schedule based off the conferences that we play in. Which is why when people were talking shit about Hampton moving to the Big South, it was like, this is actually makes sense, because now if they keep winning games, they can get into some of those bowl games, probably playing in the Big South if they go undefeated. You know, and then the other thing is, maybe the Big South is just the start. Maybe they're trying to get into another conference higher than that, but they have to prove in this conference that they can win. So stuff like that, I definitely understand, but I don't know. I just really like the focus being on our black colleges. At that Alabama State game, I can't tell you how many white people were there at the game, probably just because they just miss football, you know? Because I'd be the same way. Well, what was it? The XFL that was in the spring last year?
Yeah, the XFL.
Man, it wasn't great, but I watched it because it was just football. Right. But I don't know. I hope we can find some kind of happy balance, you know, for everyone to succeed. But right now, we just taking checks to get our ass whooped.
Right. But, like just thinking about, like, looking at a Jackson State, like, just think about if some of these HBCU programs started getting these high caliber coaches. Like, because, like, those boys look tight.
Yeah.
Like, Jackson has always been a decent football team, but, like, they look nice.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm really interested to see how they're going to turn out this season.
They look nice, and those aren't even all the guys that he recruited, you know? Because a lot of people forget, those guys that he recruited, those D1 guys, they don't play to this fall. Those guys are still in high school.
Right.
So the team looks good now. Just imagine how good they're going to look this fall. Like,
and that's exactly why, that's what brings me to my point, because I feel like give him 4 years in that program, but like when these freshmen that are freshmen this year, or the freshmen that he recruited,
that's coming in,
once they're seniors, that team's going to be tight.
Yeah.
Like, I could see them competing, like, in, like, a national championship or bowl game like that. So, like, it's going to be really interesting to keep the eyes on that. And then just being able to get the focus on the bands. Like, there was some really good footage, but some bands didn't sound as great as others. I'm not going to dive into that.
Right.
But, yeah, it was just really interesting. Like, it made me miss it.
Okay. Next thing we want to get into, just like the rest of you guys, where the fuck my stimulus check at? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be insensitive. They took a picture at the White House of them standing, was it at the bottom of the steps? And at the bottom of the steps, it was like Joe, his wife, and like, I can't remember, it might have been Kamala and someone else. They're at the bottom of these steps, and then there are 500,000 candles on the steps. And I'm like, that's a lot of fucking candles y'all bought for you to still owe me motherfucking money. Like, and I get what they were trying to do with that dedication. No, I get what they were trying to do. But fuck that. There are other ways that they could have honored those people other than them fucking candles. Put 500,000, man, I'm telling you.
Jay's like, damn, Nana.
No, let me ask you a question. So do you think those families would have much rather gotten broken off with some bread or had candles on the steps? It'd have been different if it was candles on the steps and people's names. People's names weren't on those candles on those steps. People's names weren't on the steps. People's names weren't on the statement. So you're not, there we go. It's essentially what it looked like to me was the I voted sticker. That was what that picture showed by it looked like to me. It looked like, hey, I'm acknowledging that happened. I'm not going to acknowledge the people's names. I'm just going to sit, because he didn't sit those candles there. So don't let me say he sat them. Someone had the idea to sit those candles there. And I want to know where my money at.
Hey, look, all I'm going to say is that, like, let us be clear. We told y'all this during election season. We weren't too crazy about Joe Biden either. like, we just didn't want the person we had. So, it's really interesting just watching, like, all this stuff that he promised. Like, yeah, within the first 100 days, we're going to get da-da-da, all this stuff. Y'all going to have $2,000 stimulus check. It's going to be 100,000 vaccinations given. And now here we are creeping up on that 100-day mark. Dude. And he's like, at least I'm not the other guy.
Nah, you said over there like, wait, I said what?
Yeah. He's like that nigga that was talking about the playoffs. Like, hey, student loans, you're 50,000, you forget 50,000.
Yeah, I ain't say I could do that.
I didn't say I could do that.
I said I would talk to them about doing that.
And I talked to him. So
right.
I kept the promise.
They said no, so that's it. Nah, Joe. We want that bread, man.
In the words of that GIF, like where they had Kamala, like when she was like, "We did it, Joe." It's like, they want their money, Joe.
Yes. We want all them fucking pennies, man.
Yeah, man, because I got some stuff some big moves and some money that need to be dished out.
Right.
So
Trey ain't gotta dance. He make money moves.
Where's the pause key? That wasn't a pause.
What?
I don't know what it was. Oh, man.
Do you not make money moves?
Well, I do. Yeah.
I'm trying to give you flowers. You won't even take them.
Because I'm thinking, I heard it in Cardi's voice, and I just felt like I feel like naturally I should have been like an followed after that.
See, that's what we ruined it. Grown men should not be making that sound.
Session podcast is not to support the views and understatements of Trey from the VA. No word from our sponsors.
Boo this man.
Boo this man. You stink.
Right. All right. So next up we have 12-year-old Florida girl.
Oh my God.
Look at that. See, Florida man and finally fucked his daughter up.
I did not know where you were going with that.
It's Florida.
I know what you were
went many different ways.
I was going to say, not Alabama, Jay.
No. That happens in Florida too. A 12-year-old Florida girl is accused of bringing stun guns to a middle school to sell to classmates. The student, whose name is not being released, was arrested Friday on a charge of possession of a weapon on school property. Listen, the investigation began earlier in the day when a school staff member at Colvin Middle School in Tampa just hosted the Super Bowl. They're about to host WrestleMania in a couple weeks. And Tampa told administrators the student had a stun gun. When the school's resource officer removed the girl from class, she admitted to buying 5 electric stun guns online. Shit. According to police, the girl admitted to selling 3 of the stun guns on Thursday. Alright. Few things here. One, you can't, look, Hustlers gonna hustle, baby. Okay, you can't stop the hustle. Shout out to you, girl, whose name is not being disclosed for hustling.
Nah,
Now-
I feel some type of way about this.
Oh no, I'm still going. Now, second, as an educator, sweetheart, you can't sell them shits in school. Like, what was you thinking? You cannot bring stun guns to school and sell them.
That's not why I feel a type of way.
No. I'm just getting my views off. You can't do that. Sweetheart, sell them at the bus stop. That's how you do it. Sell them at the bus stop. Because if you sell them at the bus stop, then it technically did not happen on school
You
property.
can't say that.
Yes, I can.
Oh my God.
If she's going home from school, she can sell whatever she would like. She's no
man.
longer the school's responsibility.
I'm just
Sweetheart,
looking forward to
keep hustling. I hope you beat this charge. Maybe sell honey buns and candy instead of
It's
selling
all
stun
funny
guns.
games.
Please stop selling stun guns at school, though, sweetheart.
It's all fun and games until Jay's ass get called in the office. We found something interesting. Yeah, don't sell them at school. Sell them at the bus stop.
Pause. You ready for this? My assistant principal's a rapper. I have a lot of room to say a lot of different things, okay?
Oh man.
Good rapper, by the way. Good
I'm gonna
rapper.
tell you why. I feel
We gotta
some
get him
type-
on the show.
We do. That'll be fucking
Yeah.
right. This is why I feel some type of way. Being somebody who got in-school suspension for selling snacks.
Yo, they did that at our schools too, yeah.
So here I am serving hard time, missing all the stuff I wanted to be at for honey buns and some goddamn potato chips. And then here she come rolling up with 5 stun guns and she's accused.
She probably made. What do you mean, Q? She's charged. What do you mean? She got charged.
Oh. Well, still. Come on, baby. You can't be doing that.
Wait. It did say she got charged, right?
I saw accused.
Removed. She admitted. Girl admitted. I could have swore I saw something that said she got charged. On Friday, the girl had 2 black Viper Tech stun guns in her. Oh, them the good ones too. Police say there's no threat made to any individual. Oh, thank God.
It starts at
Police did
$9.99
not
on
know how
Amazon.
much she sold them for. Yo, she might have came up.
She could
Because you know
have
if she
came
bought
up.
them for 10. Kids in middle school aren't the
$25.
sharpest tools. They'll
Yeah.
probably pay about $30 for that.
Where are the parents?
Trey, you've been teaching long enough to know. It's the teacher's fault.
Yep. Like, Mr. Rawls, we need you to step into the office.
Where were you when she was buying these stun guns online, Mr. Ross?
At home.
Why were
Oh,
you
so
not
you
at
were
her
not
house?
on Zoom.
Right. You're fired.
I don't see where talking about stun guns were in your lesson plans.
Exactly, man. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, man. That was not a sex joke.
I'm trying not to bring it up. It has not been brought up all 2021.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop.
It was.
Thank
yes.
you. Okay, Axel Foley.
But I was trying not to say what you told me I couldn't say.
No. Okay, so Nick Casario. Let's keep it moving. Okay, so here's a little story, and I'm just gonna say it. White privilege at its finest.
Amen.
All right, so let me explain why I feel that way. I feel like this is white privilege at its finest because Nick Casario is supposed to be the next GM of the Houston Texans. Now, this is interesting that he's becoming the next GM of the Houston Texans because, you know, most of the time when you get a gig like that, you usually serve, you know, maybe as an associate or maybe as an assistant GM or president of football operation, you know, just something within that class. No, Nick Casario was actually, I believe he was like homeboys with somebody at the New England Patriots. Like, and they wanted to get him on staff, so they gave him the title of the chaplain. So, for those of you who don't know, the chaplain is essentially just, I'm the nigga who pray. So, that
More than that.
No.
They're more than that.
No, I'm talking about him for a football team.
Well, yeah, sometimes they do, like,
Trey,
counseling.
he's not ordained, okay?
Oh.
This was someone's homeboy who they wanted to get on staff, so they was just like, look, you could just come and be the chaplain.
I wonder how much that pay.
I don't know.
I'm ordained.
I don't know, but he's not ordained. All right, so from there, my man's, like I said, he was cool. He's cool with, I don't think it's Robert Kraft that he was cool with. I can't remember who it was specifically. But he's cool with someone there. And somehow, as a motherfucking chaplain, he's now worked his way up to becoming the GM of the Texans. Now, before he was the GM, he was giving input on like operations within the organization. And they're saying that this man had something to do with DeAndre Hopkins being traded to the Cardinals. Listen, you don't have to know anything about football. But if someone tells you that they're trading DeAndre Hopkins for a washing machine, chances are you should not be letting that guy run your organization. Washing machine, Trey.
That's wild, man. But, like, I just have one question. Since this dude was homeboys with somebody from the New England Patriots, you think he made it to Robert Kraft's little massage parlor party? You think he was there? He could have got a little happy ending. I'm just saying. Hey, these are the questions that we gotta ask.
No, we don't. No, we don't. You're asking questions about powerful people. Big no.
I mean, hey.
Whoo! I'll let you take the next one.
Alright, the next one is alright, man. So, actually, did we put this up there?
What, the article?
No, about Texans. About like still with old boy quarterback.
It ain't really much to update because they, you know, he still want to leave, but they're still saying, nah, fuck you.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. So, so we want to thank our resident nigga behind the camera for this story.
We do.
About
Bro man from the fifth floor.
we were talking about what was what we should talk about, and there's this interesting thing that came out of the great state of Georgia.
Heritage Colony.
The great state of Georgia. Coca-Cola is doing some diversity training, and some of the slides were interesting. And the reason why they were interesting was because one of the slides.
Could you read the slide? You got.
I'm about to see if it transferred to my iPad.
Okay.
Because my phone is up.
Yeah, he got to read the whole thing in context. He can't just get you.
It was hilarious because basically they were talking about how they should basically stop being white. It should pop up here shortly. It's going to update in a minute. But yeah, they were talking about how, you know, different things like humble yourself, don't talk down on people, like different basically being a decent fucking human being.
Yeah,
and it's just fucking crazy.
Because you got to tell people how to be a decent human being nowadays.
Right, and it's just wild to me, man. And I'm trying to stall, trying to find this photo. So let's talk a little bit, Jay. You're really gonna do me like this?
Which one is that?
That's the Price is Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not the one I was looking for.
Oh, Jeopardy. That makes no sense. Oh, man. Oh, here we go. All right, so some of the slides. Oh, I thought you were gonna. I just want to make sure you had your time. All right, so. So one of the slides, I'm gonna read you a few of the slides. One of them said confronting racism, understanding what it means to be white, challenging what it means to be Asians. White people are socialized to feel that they are inherently superior because they are white. Researchers show that children at the age of 3 and 4 understand that it's better to be white than to be another race.
Wow.
And so they try giving advice on how to be less white. And some of the examples include, and some of the answers include, to be less white is to be less oppressive, be less arrogant, be less certain, be less defensive, be less ignorant, be more humble, listen, believe, break with apathy, and break with white solidarity. I butchered that word, but
You shouldn't have to tell human beings to do these things.
I feel some type of way about which one was it? It was
Be less sure. I don't.
be less
understand.
certain. No,
Yeah.
like, what do you mean by that?
But at the same time, I understand why Coke is doing it. that's one of them. We're covering our ass, so if it comes down to it, we can say, we told your ass
To be less white.
to not be chasing black people around this establishment.
I feel like we're a bunch of people named Karen are about to be unlawfully
Oh,
fired.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be like,
But
sorry, it's just not good for the image.
right, but I must say, it's. I don't understand how this didn't become a big deal.
Could you hear?
If your name is the following: Becky, Karen, Chase,
Tanner,
Hunter,
Yo, look, listen.
Channing Tatum.
Listen, I'm gonna get into it.
Owen.
Here we go. Can we have this talk?
Yep.
I would like. Here's some names that I would like to be retired.
Oh God.
I'm not gonna say from what demographic, but here's some names, and this is based off talks I've had with my students. 1, stop naming kids Grady. It's
Grady.
an old name, okay? It's an old name. White kids do not like being named Grady. I heard this from a white kid, okay? 2, stop naming your kids Tanner. That boy was so mad when we were talking. He said, I don't understand why my mom named me Tanner. I don't fucking tan. Like, why would you name me this? She said, and what made it worse was my mom named my brother Hunter. My brother doesn't hunt. He's not athletic at all. I was like, damn, that is a fair point. Let's stop naming kids Hunter, Tanner, and Grady.
I have 2 more names to add to it.
Oh, go for it.
Brittany and Ashley need to be retired.
That's not
too,
going anywhere, bro.
Because I'm tired.
It's not
Every
going
year,
anywhere.
I have about 5 of them.
That's not going anywhere.
I'm so tired of those 2 names. And I have friends by both of the names.
I do too, yeah.
But
That ain't going nowhere. You ain't getting rid of those 2 names. I promise.
You know what a black name that's been popping up a lot more? Javion.
I have
There's
2
a bunch of
Javions.
Javions.
Yeah, one of
They're
those.
always a
Yeah,
light skinned kid with a high top fade.
Mine are both brown skinned, but have the fade. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like I feel like a barber gave the name.
The Jimmy Butler haircut, as I call it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're gonna take it to the break, and we'll be right back at you. All right, good first half. 30 minutes.
Let me look at some of these photos.
That's like a white person saying,
I have black friends.
I can say here because
This is staying in.
I was actually there. I had to shoot a few. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to shoot a few.
What service were you in?
Army.
Oh, I didn't know that. I want to say you told me that. But
Yeah, I was out there in Uzbekistan like right after 9/11.
I can't even spell that.
Yeah, I can barely spell
I'm
it
not
too.
gonna try. All right.
Uzbekistan sounds like a made up country, don't it?
It does.
Yeah, because it's around all them other stands.
Yeah, it's like-
Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan.
It's literally right
Pakistan.
outside of Afghanistan. It's like about a few miles outside of Afghanistan.
Y'all talking about all those stands. I really want to go to a taco stand. Like y'all talking
I would love to go to a taco stand. Yo, someone told me they got them wet tacos out here in Newport News.
You do? Where?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the spot. I got it in my phone. I just had to look for it.
But I'll never forget going out there and we had to drive through all these places to get to the airplanes that's taking us up there and people like standing on bridges and stuff like, yeah! Yeah! And we used to be sitting there like flicking all of them off like, fuck you!
Damn, why are y'all flicking them up?
Cause it's like, y'all ain't joining us. We going to get shot. Y'all stand.
Yo, I couldn't imagine like the thoughts and shit that be going through your head. Like, one, when you take that flight over there for deployment,
Oh,
I bet it's like a million things running through your head. You know, you don't know what to expect.
Well, for me, it was like, oh, we're going to Germany. Oh, we're going to drink first before we get shot at. Like, all right, cool.
Shit.
Like, get to Germany, have a few drinks. All right, it's time to go. Like, all right.
I've been talking to my homeboys about that. He was just like, he said, dog, I was trying my hardest not to freak out on that plane. He said,
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was stepping into. He was like, you hear all of these stories about how it was. He said, and you just be like, okay, I am scared. Like, I know people have died over there. He said, but then you get there, you know, you kind of feel it out. And you just be like,
Well,
he said, you don't be cool with it, but it just be, yo, it is what it is.
The crazy part is stuff is still there from when they fought Russia.
What?
Yeah, like stuff from when they fought Russia is still there. Like, yeah.
We gotta do a pod. Sorry. I have some vets on there, man.
Yeah, that'd be a good
I'm trying
one.
to think. When is Veterans Day?
That passed already, isn't it?
Yeah, that passed.
That was in November, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? There's another day.
Memorial Day is in
Memorial.
May.
Okay, so Memorial Day, but that's well, yeah, we could still have
Yeah, you
them
still
come on
have
and talk
Veterans
about
Day.
that because you know.
Yeah, like the history of that, like places like that is ridiculous. Like you get there, it looks better than what they show on
Mhm.
the cameras, but
We're gonna do that. When we
Right.
do that pod, you should be on here talking.
like,
Yeah.
like it had its
We
scary
should
moments.
also do episode, call it like For the Ladies, and like even like if like you have them like have like an honorary lady host, like even like if it's like,
Oh no! See, I talked to Janice about that. I told her I felt like
and
she
then
would
like
be
we
great
get
for doing
questioned and all that shit.
I think we should just let them host the pod.
That worked for me.
Just let them host the pod. I think that'd be fire.
Yeah, that would be fire.
Um,
I would love to see a conversation between Janice and Keita.
Like it's
Lord.
ladies' night.
oh
And
man.
they show us tied up in the corner.
Like we have hijacked the pod.
Right. Make it a thing. Make it a movie
It
short.
was like, Trey and Jay could not be here today.
Like that'd be hot.
Right.
Though. That'd be hot though. Y'all had like a whole like a bunch of shorts leading up to it.
That's what
like,
I'm saying,
Like
yeah.
Trey get kidnapped
Crazy
first,
shit happening.
then you disappear.
See, and what's crazy is I didn't have this keyboard when I mixed the last pod. I had this little, and I was at school. I had this little clip of like this little bounce song that I was gonna do for Kia when she did her intro, and I thought this shit was gonna be fire, but because of the school Wi-Fi, it wouldn't let me download the fucking clip. That shit pissed me off. I was like,
School
fuck.
Wi-Fi make you just want to yell out, "Come!"
Yeah, because it be unnecessary stuff that it stops, man. Can you hear?
Yep.
I can't hear.
All right, I'm about to stop it and start it back up.
I think my headphones might have died.
Oh no.
All right.
Boom.
Alright.
Let's get it.
Alright, you bring us back in.
I thought it took us to the break.
Yeah, you did. Alright, so I'll bring us back in. And we back. I did not know it was going to be that quick of a
Hey,
turnaround.
man.
Alright,
pumper.
man. Yeah. What? You already know what you had to hit.
Wait, what?
Go ahead and hit the pause button.
I didn't say I was pumping you.
You said big pumper.
I said quick pumper.
Quick pumper. That's even better.
You have to say pause for being a quick pumper with women?
I don't think you want to be a quick pumper.
You don't know what
Like,
I want
comment,
to do.
describe.
Subscribe if you interested in a while.
You don't know what I'm trying to do when I'm up in there. Hell, half the time I don't know what I'm trying to do when I'm in there.
It'd be like that damn turtle. It'd be like that damn turtle, like.
Oh, that's
But anyway.
all right, fuck it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. This is why you shouldn't drink rum and pot. All right, here we go. So our next segment is when the shot went in and popped out. So essentially, what we mean by that is, have you ever been talking to a woman and or guy, whatever your preference is, and you shoot your shot, and it seems as though you bagged him, but in actuality you didn't, and it took you a moment to find that out.
Yeah, I got a few stories like that, man.
Give me your best one.
Alright, best one I can think of. This was after I was in a relationship for 3 years straight in college. So this is like right after her and I broke up. I was like, let me figure out who I am. Start dating again. I waited like a month or two before I started going on dates again. And so like this girl that like we would flirt back and forth. We really cool, chilling. Like yeah, okay, cool. So I'm texting her. She's texting me. So one day.
Really?
Wow, these mics are good. But yeah, so we sitting here, and one day she's just not texting me like she usually is, and then when she did finally text me, she's very short. And so then I was like, "Yo, you good? I haven't really heard from you. I'm fine."
I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I get a phone call. I just think it's very fucking funny that you sitting here think I'm a fucking idiot. Whoa, chill out. So you weren't in a relationship like 2 months ago? I was. Oh, so you think I'm just some rebound bitch? I'm like, yo, we've really been talking for like a month now. Where is this coming from? I was just like, I just knew that I had, like, her and I were chilling and like it was great. And then just out of nowhere, it just swerved.
Damn. I'm like you. I can think of numerous stories where shit like this happened. Yo, there's a lot of wild sounds just happening.
Right. And I feel great. Like, I'm glad y'all hear it because it's amplified in the headphones. So like, if y'all don't react and I hear something,
we definitely hear it. All right. So one I could think of is I'll never forget. I believe it might have been 10th grade. It was sometime in high school. I can't remember. But it was this girl that I really, really liked, and she had just gone through a breakup, and you know I was kind of there, talking her through it, and in my head I'm just like, yo, when the time is right, you know, I'm just gonna say something. So I took her out. I think we went to like Wendy's. It wasn't even nowhere crazy. It's just she needed to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So we went there. I bought her something to eat. We chilled. We talked, and all she kept talking about was how she made a mistake on not giving me a shot, you know. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like I mean, I'm bearing my soul. Like, I'm like, yeah, man, you know, I've always felt this way for you, and you mean the world to me, and I just never knew how to tell you, and all this shit. And then she goes, well, I mean, let's just, you know, it's still kind of fresh, but let's just, you know, let's just move a little slow. Now, what I heard when she said, let's just move a little slow was, we're talking, but we're taking our time talking. So I'm taking her to the movies. Mm-hmm. We're going to the mall to kick it. We're going bowling. We're doing all of this stuff. And then, I'll never forget, one day I took her to, I want to say it was to a movie. And then after that, we went out to eat. And when we went out to eat, you know, I'm like, okay. My homeboy goes, oh, so, you know, who is this? You know, I was like, oh, this is my girl. You know, X, Y, and Z. And she was like, oh, no, we just friends. And I was like, wait, what? She was like, I don't like you like that. And in my head, I'm like, wait. We've been doing all of these things. We've been talking. You know, I thought, and she was just like, I don't know why you thought that. She was like, I was just trying to be a nice person, and you seemed like you needed it. And I'm just like,
yo, that would be perfect. Have you seen the TikTok trends when like you're talking with somebody? It's like, yeah, and like then they pop back at you, and that music is like dun 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 dun. So it's like, yeah, this is my girl. Girl, dun, dun. I'm not your girl. I don't know what you thought this was. Like that would be fucking. You're like, what? Huh? No,
yeah.
Nani?
I knew I had her. I swear. She came over to the crib to meet my mom's. Like,
damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, who does that? Like, who? I don't know. High school kids are trash. Next topic: lines that shouldn't work.
Alright, man. This isn't even my story. True story. This is my mom and dad. This is my mom and dad's first time meeting.
Okay.
So, it's always funny hearing both of them tell the story because like the different point of views, it makes it funny. So my dad was a Sigma just like I am, and my mom was a Sigma sweetheart, but she was a Sigma sweetheart before she met my father. My mom went to UVA, my dad went to Hampton. So he was up in Charlottesville for some type of frat function, and my mom was with this other Sigma at the time. And my dad said, I bet you I'm gonna leave here, like I'm gonna leave with the phone number of the baddest girl in the party. So she sees my mom, walks up to her, nigga literally says this, do yourself a favor and introduce yourself to me. My mama said that she wanted to smack the shit out of him and everything, but she didn't. But she was trying to be polite because she just became a Sigma sweetheart, and my dad was that Sigma that people knew, like everybody knew Egga T. So he's going through the whole night talking to her. My mom is doing the light skin thing, just like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, yeah, all right. And so like, he was like, hey, if you don't dance with me, I'm gonna yell out that you grabbed my ass.
And she's like, boy, don't you do that. I'm like, hey, this girl grabbed my butt. Hey, what the fuck? They're like, hey, yo, chill. So they started dancing. They got to know each other. But that worked.
That should not
like,
have worked.
It worked. And, like, she literally, like, she told me she was, like, after that, like, she was having, like, she ended up leaving the dude that she was with.
Right.
Never got rid of my dad's number. And they were married for 29 years before he passed away.
Damn, dog.
So, like, it's just, like, that should not have worked.
It shouldn't have, but that's a lesson to everybody out there.
I tried that line in high school and got the shit smacked out of me.
Yeah, but it's not. That move's not for everyone.
It's not. It won't for me.
That's for a person who, you know, has the. You gotta have confidence to pull a move like that.
Wow, thanks, Jay.
You know, you know you didn't do it the way he did it.
I didn't. I probably fucked the line up.
Right.
do yourself a favor and introduce yourself to me.
You know what you should do? You should do yourself a favor.
Do yourself a favor if you want.
If you feel like it.
If you feel like it. If you
enough.
don't want to. But nah, for me, we were talking about this. They joked the shit out of me about this. And we're back. All right. So yeah. With me, the line that I was really surprised worked. But it seemed so simple. That's why I was shocked it worked. And they joked the fuck out of me. The girl I'm currently with, literally, I've been like trying to think of like creative ways. Like, what can I say to her to get her to like me? Like, what can I say? I literally, all I came up with after an hour of thinking was, I'm attracted to you. Are you attracted to me?
Fucking robot.
She said, yeah, and here we are. So I'm just sitting here. I was shocked it went. It was one of those ones that, like you said, I didn't call glass. I just chucked it.
Yeah, man.
And it just. I scored. I did it.
You gotta call bank for that, man. That point don't count.
And I'm just like, wait, is that simple?
Sometimes it is, yeah.
But what about you, man?
I had two. One, most outlandish one was probably in college. This girl that I saw, I had been watching her kind of like the whole night trying to decide if I was actually going to say something. Mm-hmm. And, you know, she didn't seem to be dancing with anyone. She was just hanging out with her homegirls. But I could tell she wasn't really having the best of time. So I kind of walked up on her and did that thing where you just walk up and you just start dancing in her face and shit with that move. And she just started smiling. And then after that, she kind of walked off. I was like, oh, okay. So then after that, I saw her like a little bit after that. I want to say it was at Cookout. I saw her Cookout after that. Mm-hmm. Then everybody go to get something to eat afterwards. Seen her up there ordering her food. I just walked up there, and right after she was like, yeah, I want to get this. You know, I walked up, I said, yeah, and I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. And she was like, wait a minute. And I was like, yeah, and I'm going to pay for it. And she was like, oh, okay. And so after I bought the food, the line was, hurry up, write your number on that receipt before I don't want it no more. She wrote a number on the receipt, dog. She took her food and she turned and walked away. No. I texted her right after that, and that shit worked. I don't know why it worked, but it fucking worked. Maybe buying the food helped. But, and then there's another one that I used, don't judge me, in middle school when I was trying to be grown with this girl. I wrote her a note, and the line was, hey, do you like me? And she said, yes. I said, so if I was your heart, would you let me beat? She said yes.
And look, it's niggas like you in high school that piss niggas like me off. Here I am, the adorable nerd with the glasses, trying to get the girl like, hey, would you fancy going out with a guy like
fancy.
me?
Would you fancy?
Would you give a guy with glasses a kiss? Like type of shit. And then here you come. If I was your heart, would you let me beat?
Clever line.
I'm glad you got your shit together, nigga.
Saying,
because like,
hey, that was a good line. Look, my homeboy who I worked with, North Carolina, his line, I think he listened to the show. I'm almost positive he do. My homeboy, he had this line where he used to shout at girls. I don't think it ever worked, but his was, yo, I hope you got your inhaler. And she'd say, why? And he'd go, because you got that ass, ma.
Actually, no. I'll tell you one that worked that I was shocked that worked.
What was that?
I don't even count it as a pickup line.
Oh, shit.
So my dad told me, he was like, Trey, like this was when I was single, but after my glow up. So this was like grad school.
Oh, God.
I was, at the time I was a Sigma. I was the only Sigma on campus. And I was in Phi Mu Alpha, and I had a decent amount of like popularity amongst the campus. So I remember we were sitting where I was sitting outside of the dorm. Showboat know what I'm talking about. Holmes Hall. It was one of the nicest dorms on campus. I'm sitting on this little pillar thing, and I have a deck of Uno cards in my hand, right? And my dad told me, he was like, 1 through 9 are ratings. Wild is the top one, like, yo, like, you got it all. You the whole package. Skip is the one that he's like, yeah, just keep walking. And reverse is like, nah, come, run that back, come back here. So I'm sitting out, and I'm sitting out on there with like one of my littles, and we just chilling. And what do you mean? No, one of my little brothers.
I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the fucking car starting outside.
Oh, shit. Yeah. So yeah, one of my little brothers and I were sitting out there, and girls kept walking by, and I'm just holding up Uno cards, and like this one particular girl kept walking by, and she just looked confused every time she walked by, but she looked good. So every time she walked by, I held reverse and wild up. So she was like not going away too far, like she's pretending to have conversations with people, just trying to see what we were doing. And like she finally comes over, what are you doing with these damn Uno cards? And why you keep holding up 2 when I walk by? I was like, well, my dad told me to really appreciate a woman, and I didn't want to come across as rude. So I just was trying to give nonverbal cues on how I felt about you. And the wild is just like, you just got my mind going wild because like you're just so beautiful, like all that stuff. And then reverse is because I don't want to see you walk away. I want you to come back this way.
That shit
He was
work.
like, oh, like what's your name? And like it worked. Like I think I lost
That
interest.
shit does work.
That was the beginning of my fuckboy days. I think I lost interest and I never texted her again.
Garius. Garius.
Said his name, House Ross.
From the field of Chester.
Insert Game of Thrones.
Right.
And what's your name? A girl has no name.
The girl, right.
You shall be my hoe. I'm joking. We gotta censor that at 46:42. You gotta censor that.
This guy, man.
Oh man. Alright, so have you ever been in a situation that you know you should not have gone to, and then either before it happened, God prevented you from going to it, or right after it happened, God showed you why you should not have gone?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's funny we're doing this because on Twitter they're doing this whole "you should have been there," thing. But we're gonna do, you shouldn't have been there. So, I can think of a couple times where where the shit just didn't fall through for some stupid ass reason. One that I can think of particularly was it was at the band practice in college, and our off-campus apartments at Livingstone is called College Park. And there was a little party over in College Park, and in the midst of the party, I decided to go to the gas station to get some gas because, I had a girl I was trying to get at the end of that night.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me go ahead and gas the car up so when it's time to go, the car ain't breaking down. Man, so my homeboy E rode with me to go and get the gas. So, no, I skipped the spot. Sorry. So, I'm driving in the car. That's how that wound up happening. I'm driving in my car with my homegirl, and the car breaks down right before we get on campus. Like, out of gas. So, I called E to come and pick me up. It takes this nigga like 25 to 30 minutes to come and get me. Keep in mind, College Park is literally 2 minutes away from where I broke down. He just keeps forgetting every time I call him because he's drunk to come and pick me up. So he eventually comes to get me, and we go to the gas station. Now keep in mind, I'm trying to make it to this girl's room before the doors are locked for her dorm. Man, we get to the gas station. I am so messed up that I'm thinking that I got the gas pump inside the canister. I poured $5 worth of gas all over my jeans because it was not in the canister. So after getting the gas, I get back in the car.
And you reek of gasoline.
Not even that. We drunk. We wasn't even thinking about that. We get back to my car, and when I'm holding the thing, Eric's like, bruh, you ain't got no gas in that motherfucking tank. It's like a little bit of gas. So I poured a little bit in there, and it was enough to get the car started. And then he dipped off after that, so I had to go back to the gas station to put more gas in there. So I go back, and I put more gas in there. At this point, I'm texting her, yo, you up? Yo, you up? Are you up? I'm calling you. Pick up the phone. Like, I'm blowing her shit up. And she's not answering the phone. Lo and behold, I get to my room that night, and I'm like fucking hot. I'm like, damn, I done missed this shit, all because I poured the gas all over my pants. How about they had a fucking room check that night, and the fire alarm went off? Bruh, I would have been so, I would have probably been put out of school. Dude, I'm telling you. Made me run out of gas just so I wouldn't go in there and get in trouble.
Alright, so I wasn't so lucky. I was in that group of the shit happened to me afterwards. Like, nigga, you should not have gone. But it wasn't, like, depending on how you look at it, it wasn't even all that big of a deal. But, like, Hampton does not really believe in overnight visitation.
Yeah, we don't either.
So, even though my grad school year, the girl I was dating, she was a junior at the time. She graduated the following year after I graduated. And she stayed in the co-ed dorm, which is very easy to sneak into. But she's one of those people who are by the rules, by the books. But she's one of those people that would like flirt with you, and then like once it gets like serious, like no, chill out, chill. So she was like, so we had gone on a date, like it was just a really good night. And she was like, you know, my roommate not gonna be there tonight. But she was like, by the books. She never allowed me to spend the night over at her dorm. She would come to my apartment, but she would never let me spend the night over her. I know the dorm director. I know all the RAs. I could have got away with it. She just wasn't with the shit. So, you know, we chilling throughout the night, walking around campus after we went to the movies and shit, like near the water, and like, just like, she's flirting with me, I'm flirting with her. I'm like, oh yeah, this is about to go down. This is like the last week I'm at Hampton too. Like it was Monday. No, it was a Thursday before graduation. So she keeps like, she just has me thinking I'm spending the night, right?
Uh-huh.
So I walk to her dorm. She's like, all right, love you, good night. I'm like, wait, no. Like, let me go to your, I thought this is what we were doing. And she said, Trey, you know how I feel about that. I'm like, you really been messing with me. And between being flirty and then also kind of guilt tripping, it's like, man, you really kind of got my hopes up. Like, I've always wanted to just spend the night in Du Bois, just kind of like sneaking, like I shouldn't have to be there. Like, that's always been something. I guess I'll never live out that Hampton fantasy. And then she was like, okay, whatever. So spend the night. I'm not gonna go into details about the night. It was a good night. So her only rule was that the next morning I had to leave like early. I was like, okay, cool, I can do that. And she's like, this is when the night monitor leaves, and this is when the first shift of the RA starts. It's like a 45-minute gap. Part of me was like, why do you know that? But I kind of let that go. So, so I get up, leave, and it was raining. I had slides on, and the Nike slides, you know, they really don't have no traction whatsoever. Yeah. So I'm running, and Hampton has what I call trapdoor grass. And what I mean by that, you walk and it looked like it's solid.
Yeah, sink.
And as soon as, so like it's also like I stepped in slides and I'm like, it's cool. My apartment is only like 7 minutes away from campus. I'm cool. So it's raining, like raining. And just to give a little bit of background story, I had a 2006 Nissan Altima, and my dad's graduation gift to me was he was going to pay off the car. So I would have been starting life with no car note. So I'm on the way back to campus, back to my apartment, and I dropped my phone, I reach and grab it, and I wasn't paying attention to light, so I slammed on the brake, but because I had no traction on my flip-flops and they were wet, it slipped off the brake and hit the accelerator. And he's trying to stay calm because he sees I'm a Hampton student, right? And it's just like, are you okay? I see you go to Hampton.
do you see, like, and like at this point I don't feel nothing in my shoulder because I find out later I actually had dislocated it. So, you know, I'm sitting here, I call my mom. Mom, I'm in a car accident. And she's like, what? Call your dad. I hung up on me. And I was just like, thanks, Mom. So I called my dad. He's like, are you okay? He was like, yeah. I was like, I'm just upset because you were about to. He's like, I'm just glad you're okay. He's like, what happened? It's like, I don't want to talk about it. He was like, okay, we'll do all this stuff. But I'm just sitting here. I'm like, damn, if I would just listen to her.
That's how I go.
And I'd just be like, you know what, babe? You're right. Have a good evening. I will be driving around not having to pay a car note right now.
Just take the L with grace, man.
Yep, that's all you can do, man.
All right, let's close this thing out with the wildest shit that you've seen.
All right, so Showboat kind of helped bring back some memories from college. There's a professor by the name of Dr. Harvey J. Stokes. Man's a genius, but he's crazy as fuck. Like, that dude is crazy. So, like, this is the type of dude that, like, if no one shows up to class, say everybody decides to skip, he'll lock the door and still teach the class, call your name, and act like you responded. That's how crazy this nigga was. So, you know, I was a music major, and as you know, as a music major, we have tests called harmonic dictation tests, where basically the teacher plays a chord or something. You had to identify the chord, spell the chord out. And Dr. Stokes, whenever we did the harmonic dictation test, he would play the example 3 different times and leave about a 5 to 7 minute gap between each playthrough. In that 5 to 7 minute gap, Dr. Stokes will walk out, leave all his materials in there. He'll walk out, walk down the hallway, and he had heavy shoes, so you hear him walking. He had these loud ass keys on his hip, and he whistles when he walks. Oh. So literally, the nigga, you can hear the nigga walk all the way to the other side of the building. And it's just like, oh, bet. So like, none of us prepared for the test. We were all caught off guard. We're like, fuck, we're not ready for this. So here I am trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho, and he leaves, and he left the test paper that he's been reading everything off of, right? So I got my little Mission Impossible shit going on. I'm like getting up, looking the hallway to make sure him or no other teachers are in there. Do a quick scout around the room to make sure you didn't have like a device, like a camera or something. To like, okay, cool. I said the coast is clear. So we walk up there. I'm walking. Like I feel like I'm Indiana Jones trying to switch out the sculpture, man. And so like I hear him coming, but he's not quite there yet. I have my phone out my pocket, unlock it to take a picture. I flip the paper over, thinking all the answers are gonna be there. Nigga, the page was blank. And I'm like, y'all won't fucking believe it. This nigga playing a blank piece of paper, and like nobody believed me. They all got up. So we eventually had to get back in our chairs. So we flipped it back, and so it looked like we didn't touch anything. Dr. Stokes come back in, has the audacity to flip the paper, look at it, adjust his glasses, and then play the next exercise. And I was just like, that's crazy.
It is.
That's fucking crazy. So that's like wild, some wild shit that. And anybody who went to Hampton that had Dr. Stokes as a professor can validate these type of stories, because this is the type of man that this man is.
For me, mine's actually pretty short. I was an RA my sophomore year because I was, just trying to save money anywhere I could. So my first night on duty, it was a long day. I was taking 18 credit hours that year. So it was a very long day. I want to say I had 5 or 6 classes that day. Went to band practice, came back from practice. I had the late shift. I had to work from like 9 to like 11:30. Soon as I get downstairs, I go back up to my room to get my headphones. This dude is running full speed down the hallway. This boy comes around the corner, and that kid who's running punches the shit out of that boy. You saw the blood oozing out of his nose before he even hit the ground. Whole hallway is just covered in fucking blood. After the guy got knocked out, I called the ambulance to come pick him up. They take him away. I had to clean the blood up.
I feel like you should not have had to do that.
I don't know, but the wildest shit I've seen with that one, I've never seen someone run full speed from like 30 feet away and just punch this kid in the face. The way he flew backwards was just unreal. And seeing that blood just come oozing out of his nose.
So you were just sitting in the dorm, and it was just like, Superman punch
Nah.
out of nowhere.
No, not at all, nigga. I was the RA. I was sitting there like, really on my shift.
Oh my
I gotta
god,
write
I
the
think he's dead.
Incident report and all this other stupid shit. But yeah, that's it for me, man.
That's fucking wild, bro.
Black business.
Yeah, black business. So I'm a preemptively thank somebody. I just wanna thank C Sharp Media. That's one of my homeboys I met. I do plays, and it's somebody who I met in theater, and he does a lot of like photography, videography, all that work. And he's actually gonna be working on the intro for us for the YouTube page once we get it up and popping for real, for real. So shout out to him. I'll make sure throughout the week we'll post something to shout him out, and then once the intro is there, we'll definitely gonna be hitting it on the socials so y'all can see it. So shout out to you, Luther. Appreciate everything you do for me, bro.
For me, I want to shout out my homegirl Adriana. She has this crocheting business where she crochets clothes. The name of her business is Crochet Worthy. You can follow her on Instagram at Crochet Worthy.
Yeah, and also, while we have y'all up here, I want to encourage you all to follow and subscribe to Chaotic Culture Podcast. In the next week or two, we're going to be doing a joint episode with our boy over there. So go ahead and support him, subscribe to him, and check us out. We might do it where it's a split pod, so like we'll do like half the episode on their platform and then the other half on us. So we'll give y'all more details once we have more details for y'all. But hope y'all have a great week. I don't got nothing else for the people. How
Let's
about you,
get
bro?
up out of here.
Oh yeah, real quick. For those who see videos, you see we're starting to try to push some of our merch. We're working. These are prototypes, so don't get too hyped. But once we get an idea of what type of things people like, and before y'all ask, this is exclusive to just the staff. I'm sorry, I know this one's tough, but this is exclusive just to me, Jay, and whoever's working on our staff. But the other ones with just the standard logo, we're going to be experimenting with some colors. Be on the lookout for that type of stuff. We're trying to do some big things, and that requires money. So we're going to start trying to sell some merchandise so that we can raise some money for the pod. So
Definitely.
yeah, so if I have nothing else, so I hope you have a great week. Peace and chicken grease.
All right, y'all. Peace and blessings.